Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world, ex-truck driver in the whole wide world. It's Bitcoin Ben. Good morning. Hang on one second. Oh, got to get a little Red Bull. And I got a big boy today. Oh, it's Friday, everybody. Welcome to the show. Okay. I've had one friend reach out. He was like, why are you talking about AI? You're Bitcoin Ben. You need to stick with Bitcoin. He didn't say that. Shout out, Randy. I love you, brother. This is why. I love the Bitcoin. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely love it. But you guys know my show is really about freedom. Freedom. And how do we get freedom? How do we create an economy that is more free? It is decentralization. This is the key. This is what's necessary for us to be more free. And AI, just like every other tool, is an agent of freedom or an agent of slavery. If you have a weapon and let's say you have a military and they have weapons, and you hold your citizens hostage using the weapons. The weapons aren't bad. It's the military that's bad. It's the government that's bad. And why is it bad? Because it's centralized. A government is naturally centralized. It's one entity. They may have branches, but they're one entity. See, we hear, well, we have the executive, we have the judicial, we have the Congress, we legislative, it's a decentralized government. Not if they all agree, right? If the judicial agrees with the legislative that agrees with the executive, that they should all crush our freedoms, then that's not good for freedom. All right. In the old days, the only technology that the founding fathers had was basically writing shit on paper with the documents and then swearing an oath. All of our elected officials, our judges, all that, they swear an oath to the Constitution. Well, the Constitution is just words. Words that people can fuck with the definitions. All right? Let's use the word laid. A chicken laid an egg. That word eventually evolved into having another definition. We all know the definition, where your buddy goes out and you say, hey, Did you get laid? That doesn't mean, hey, did you see a chicken lay an egg? No. So legally, that word has several different meanings. So if you say in a contract, and I'm not bullshitting you, I am not bullshitting you. This is how lawyers work. If you had a contract that said, you know, that you would have your chickens lay eggs for Joe Schmo and you'd sell him the eggs. A lawyer would argue that laying the eggs meant to have sex with the eggs. This, and I'm not exaggerating, that is basically what Bill Clinton said when he said, well, what is your definition? What is the definition of is? That's legalese. Because legalese is just, they confuse word definitions. Because they say, well, how I interpreted that was one way. How this other guy interpreted that was another way. It's just our different interpretations of the definitions of the words in the contract. That's the technology that the founders had. They basically could write a document and actually make everyone swear an oath, you know, back then. Well, nowadays, we have technology. We have software. We have code that is written in an absolute language. Right? A software has to know the accurate definition of the language of the code, or it can't execute. Like when you write code, and I really don't know how it is right now. It's just, I remember when I was younger, and I mean like early teens, I would write code on a little shit ass Atari fucking computer, and you'd type in RUN, run. That meant run the program. Now, if the computer would look at that word run and go, does he mean I should run somewhere with my feet? I don't have feet. I'm a computer. I can't run anywhere. But it had to know that run meant execute. So code and computer software language has to have absolute definitions. And the reason I'm laying this out is we can use software now that can run other software and agents that are locked to a certain definition of the language. This is where we can replace a lot of the government. Now, I don't mean let the government replace or use AI. That's not what I mean. That's like handing your enemy a rifle. Government, what I'm saying is we no longer need government. While I say that, and I know I've had issues with Brian Armstrong in the past. Brian, Hey, we've had our issues. But yesterday, we learned that the Clarity Act will not allow Coinbase or other entities like Coinbases, like exchanges, will not allow them to pay interest on any money held on their site. And the banks argue, well, if you let them pay interest on their site, then everyone will just move over there because they'll be able to offer a higher interest rate, and us, the banks, we will collapse. Or there's another way of looking at it. You can rearrange your fucking bank and actually look at the environment and go, we need to change. But the banks don't want to change. They like the corrupt system that they run. So the banks are like, no. We do not accept this Clarity Act unless you get rid of the interest. So, number one, hey, banks, fuck you. Fuck you and your influence in Washington, D.C. This is the problem with government. This is the problem, because when there's a centralized legislator of the regulations and laws, the government, then you have some place that the banks can go and bribe people to make legislation so that the rich stay rich. Brian Armstrong, from yesterday, after this announcement comes out, what does Brian Armstrong do? He announces he's paying interest at Coinbase officially. That's basically Brian Armstrong saying, fuck you, come get me. We need more of this. We need more. Why are we asked no legislation? I've had so many people like, oh, we need this legislation. No. Legislation's the last fucking thing we need. We think laws are created to protect us and help us. They're not. They're not created to help you. If they were, the government representatives of the people would say, no, banks, fuck off. This is a better system for the people. This gives them more choices. Instead of squashing Brian Armstrong's rights as the CEO of Coinbase, they would say Brian Armstrong, as the CEO of the company, has a right to offer whatever he wants to his clientele. The banks are the ones who are like, no, Brian Armstrong can't do that. That will be competition for us, and we're the legacy market. This is what we need to do. And I keep saying this, and I'm going to continue to keep saying this. Fuck the government. Don't ask permission. Don't send them money. Don't do a goddamn thing with them. As soon as you ask their permission, you're done, because you've already granted them the illusion of authority. Tell them to fuck off and just do it. Just do it. But the system will rebel against you, Ben. Yes, it fucking will. Here, the key to all of this is decentralization. I want to bring something up. All right. This little item right here. This is the replacement for Amazon and Google Home systems. This is called Open Home. This is a product that was made by a software and hardware engineer, and he made it in 4 weeks. He went from concept to production, and now he offers them for sale. In 4 weeks, guys, 4 weeks, he had the concept, he produced it, and now it's for sale. This is a home assistant. This is an AI agent that is local. This has no link with Google, has no link with Apple, has no link with any out. This is a locally ran AI. And it runs, watch.
How are the dev kit signups?
83 new DMs. I texted you a few users who have surprisingly active GitHub repos.
Any good ones?
12 are OpenClaw builders.
Next steps?
Should I reply with the Discord link?
Yeah, go for it.
Done. Cool if I turn on your light? It's getting dark.
Yeah.
By the way, I think I should tell you what I just found out about the OpenAI deal.
How are the dev kit signups?
Now, that is completely local. None of your information, none of your personal information leaves your house. Every question it asked you, everything is local. And it searches through an AI filter. Now, you do grant it access to your email, but if you use a private email, you're covered. It also can go through a VPN. So it's searching the web anonymously for answers for you. Yeah. It responds really fast. Yes. And this runs on a Raspberry Pi. Hang on one second. Let me close this. Let me open this. All right. Hang on one second. Let me share this. All right. Hang on one second. All right. Let me bring it back up. This runs, and he'll explain it. This runs on a Raspberry Pi.
$3,000 Mac Studio, can run my agents, no speaker, no microphone, takes a weekend to set up, $199 HomePod, sounds amazing, but only runs Siri, which can't do much. And last but not least.
Hi, I'm Open Home, fully open source. I run your agents locally, right out of the box. I control your home. I just texted you. Oh, and I'm free.
And the speaker sounds incredible. $3,000 Mac Studio, can run my agents.
All right. When it says it's free, it was free to him to actually build it because he already had all the shit. But this is going to be available. Here, let me close this. All right. let's go over, check out. All right. openhome.io. All right. All right, right here. Now let me share this. Stop screen. Share screen. Open home. Let me bring it up. Add to stage. All right. This is Open Home. All right. Enterprise, your custom AI smart speaker. Build AI voices, personalities, and deploy on custom hardware in one click. All right. This is a decentralized model. All right. You can add whatever you want to it, and it's decentralized. This is, all right, this is just an example, just a simple example of what else is going to roll out. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is very simple. Is because this is how we take over our lives without asking, where we have the modern conveniences without the modern bullshit of you're trapped in Google, or you're trapped in whatever, Apple or whatever. This is decentralized. All right. Elon Musk announces your app on your phone, your X app, you're going to be able to use your X app with your Starlink and use it as a cell phone. Let that sink in. You get rid of AT&T. You get rid of Verizon, because X is going to be able to offer you a telephone app, an X app, that you already have X. You'll move your telephone number to the X app, and the X app will act as your phone app. And he's saying it's going to cost you like $9 a month for unlimited data. Let that sink in. Unlimited data for $9 a month. We're moving into a different world. And that's why I talk about AI and all this, because it's linked with Bitcoin. Because the Bitcoin is decentralized. There's a reason that so many legacy entities are against the Bitcoin, because it is permissionless. You don't need to have permission. Trust me. I've had 4 freaking banks now de-bank me or refuse to open an account for one of my companies. Reason? I had a manager, and I have witnesses. we were in Dallas. I had the manager of the branch literally say, no, we can't help you. You're involved in the Bitcoin. I was getting ready to deposit $100,000 into their bank. And they're like, nope, sorry. Nope, because you deal with Bitcoin. Well, okay. This is how the legacy system, right? Mind you, the Bitcoin, the company is all set up. We already have our address. We got all this stuff. And she's like, oh, sorry, you deal with Bitcoin. That's like saying, oh, you sell bread. We don't like bread here. So sorry. This is the issues that we have been putting out. And it ain't just me. It's Brian Armstrong. It's the CEO of Kraken, or ex-CEO of Kraken. It's all of us. It's Gemini. It's everybody. And what's crazy, although I still am having problems, it's kind of not as bad as it used to be. Since the word go, since I launched my channel, and pre that on Facebook Live and all that. Oh, which, by the way, I got a notice from Facebook yesterday that I'm not allowed to broadcast on one of my channels on Facebook because I said something in, what was it, like toxic information or something like that. We need to decentralize everything and just ignore them. Will that lead to a revolution? Absolutely. But it's not going to be on our side. We are not going to take up arms until they push us to a place where we have to. See, we are just going to ignore them, or at least I am. I'm going to ignore them. Then if they want, they can come to me and say, you must do this. I don't have to do shit. Fuck you. That's them bringing the threat to me. Completely different situation. But this is what we need to do. Because if we don't do this, guess what we get? Epstein. The whole government is corrupt. And we all know it. But yet we pretend like we still have to give a shit about what they say. I, like Brian Armstrong, is well, like, yeah, fuck you. I'm doing it anyway. Yes. Ignore them into irrelevance. Absolutely. You have the right to ignore people. Absolutely. You don't. It's just like if you get a text, you have no obligation to text them back. You look at it and go, oh yeah, fuck off. You have no obligation. If someone rings your phone and you look at your phone and you don't want to talk to them, you have no obligation to fucking talk to. And I receive emails and I receive messages like, hey, you need to call me back. yeah, fuck off. I don't need to do shit. I don't know who the fuck you think you are. But people have been trained that you have to respond. You have to communicate. You have to listen to me. You have to hear what I have to say. I don't have to hear shit. Fuck off. Right. Exactly. You make the masters actually mad when you don't listen. Yeah. And the problem is everyone thinks that they're a master. Well, like, I'm going to send him a wordy text. I'm going to tell him what I think of him, not realizing on the other side, I don't even open it. I just slide it and delete, because you can delete them without reading them. I don't need to read it and say, well, I better check it if blah, blah, blah has a logical point. No, I just fucking delete it. Because then whatever they want to say, I don't even see it. I don't even get exposure. It isn't even in my head. There you go. You're good. Because whatever they wanted to say, you didn't even see it. So it doesn't fucking matter. And that's the whole key. You don't have to communicate with anybody you don't want to. IRS, fuck them. The federal government, fuck them. Hey, I'll talk to you when you have a conversation with some of these pedophiles and lock somebody up. You want credibility where you can have a conversation with me? You're going to have to earn that credibility. And government, CIA, FBI, all you motherfuckers, you ain't got no credibility. So fuck off. What I'm saying is the attitude that the founding fathers had. But yet people hear me say this and they're like, oh, that's crazy. That guy's going to get a lot of trouble. George Washington got in a lot of trouble, didn't he? Benjamin Franklin got in a lot of trouble. Fucking Thomas Jefferson got in a lot of trouble. Sometimes you need some fucking trouble. I'm just fucking tired of it. I'm reaching the point. I'm reaching the point where the system can no longer be fixed, because for some reason, there's people out, and I think Brian Armstrong's reached this point, to tell you the truth. It's the same point Elon Musk reached when he went to, like, I'll do Doge. We'll just clean this up. We'll make it more efficient. Then he goes in there. He sees the resistance. He sees the lawsuits. He sees all the fraud. And everyone around the fraud is suing him to continue the fraud. And what does Elon say? Fuck you. Burn it down. Burn it down. If you have a house that is completely destroyed or completely just worn out, the roof is caved in, the floors are sagging, none of the windows work, right? This is where we're at, folks. We're looking at Washington, D.C. Like like it is the pinnacle of a successful entity. We're looking at the federal government like it operates like a machine. We need to save this machine. This house is beautiful. It just needs new windows. Maybe remodel a bathroom or two. No. Washington, D.C., the federal government is absolutely a collapsed entity. It's absolutely corrupt. It has termites. And the only thing holding up this entity are the termites holding hands. That's it. The only thing holding up the federal government is the termites are holding hands, which looks like a structure, but it's not a structure. There's no solid wood there. It's just a bunch of termites holding hands that from far away, it looks like a building. Until you get up close and you're like, oh, a bunch of termites. Then what do? You have to tear the house down. If the whole house is rotten, which it is, you don't try and patch up that house. You tear that house down and you build a new house. So I'm at the point, and it's going to collapse. And the Epstein files, the reason that the federal government is freaking out over the Epstein files is because it takes out critical termites. Well, we can't prosecute that fucking termite because that one holds up the roof. And if that one's prosecuted and plucked out of the wall, the whole roof might fall. That's what's going on right now up in Washington, D.C. All of the termites are trying to protect the other fucking termites so that their illusion of a roof won't fall. And we're sitting here going, why aren't you arresting people? Why aren't you putting people in jail? Because they're all little termites. And Trump, you best get your fucking mind right, because you're starting to look very much like a termite. You haven't lost our faith. You still look like a solid piece of oak. But you better watch it, because you're leaning towards looking like a termite. And the American people, we are the pest control now. We have the ability to look in closely at the structure now. Using the internet, we can get real close and go, bunch of termites. I've reached the point, because this house is going to collapse. Washington, D.C. is going to collapse. There's you can't rebuild it. You either tear it down or you let it collapse. I'm okay with both. It's going to collapse. What I'm worried about is that we no longer should look at the federal government and say, can we fix it? No, because all of the termites are not going to let you replace them with wood. Not going to let you. Nope. Because all of the termites are going to vote that they keep holding hands. That's what this is all about. I mean, a perfect example is the SAVE Act. This is a vote saying, yes, you have to show ID to actually vote. 86% of Americans agree with this. 86%. When was the last time 86% of Americans agreed on whether we like fucking chocolate? No. The American people agree with this. Our representatives, remember representatives, American people want it. Our representatives are like, no, that's racist. I thought we were a democracy. Well, we are, except that, this is different. This is the termites are not going to vote for something that might get rid of some of the termites. They're like, well, no, I mean, you can't. We've set up a system. We got a system. We're all holding hands. Look how awesome our system is. We're all holding. We've reached across the termite aisle, and we are holding hands. All of the termites have united. This is bipartisan fucking termite agreement. No, we don't want this to pass. Well, if 86% of the American people agree on one thing and we can't get it through legislation, the problem is the legislation, the system. So what do? We create our own system. That's it. We ignore the termites and we create our own system. And we tried working with Brian Armstrong. I can honestly say this. Brian Armstrong tried his ass off to go through the legislative, and he tried to swim in the swamp and then realized the swamp's just there to pull you into the swamp. The swamp is more quicksand than it is swamp. Because anyone who walks on it, if you're there too long, and if you move too much, if you shake the boat too much, they have to pull you into the swamp, into the sand. And Brian's like, I'm out. I'm done. This is where we all need to be. Because the government doesn't fear us. There's too many of us who fear the government. And I'm just done. I'm done. I am done. I'm reaching a point where I'm not even going to worry about Washington, D.C. Not even going to think about Washington, D.C. Not even going to factor in Washington, D.C. Their regulations and their requirements. And no, just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. Because it's all a racket. It's all bullshit. It's all legislative. All somebody shook somebody's hand in the back room. The government's got to get their cut. They're just mafia with a city and representatives in each of the other cities and the states. They're just a nationwide decentralized mafia. But they're mafia. So their agenda aligns with other mafias. They offer you the illusion of protection, which is absolutely bullshit. And they say, for this protection and for these services, if you're an average American, just working your job, like living your life, you don't get any government services. There are no government services. In fact, the government service, you pay for it. It's called Social Security. They guarantee you to send you less value when you get older. You give us money now that has a current value, and we'll send you money in the future that will have less value. My dad worked at the post office for like 46 years. His retirement was like $1,200 a month. His retirement was like $1,200 a month. Luckily, he had inherited some shit from my grandfather, so he lived halfway decent. But after 46 years of working, his pension was $1,200 a month. I laughed when he told me that. I said, you were making more when you were employed. And he was like, yeah. So how do they think you're going to go from making this much as having an employment to a fourth of what you were making after you retire? And he's like, I don't know. This whole system's a scam, guys. And the only way we fix it is we decentralize it. We decentralize it without any recognition that they even exist. It's the only way it works, because if we keep on applying for or getting rejected and they say, no, we don't like you, you're with Bitcoin, why are we trying to work with a system that hates us? Because they tell us we have to. Well, you have to work with this. You have to comply with regulations. Why? Because we said. Because who said? Well, because in 1949, legislators wrote a law that said you have to comply, and every person that's born after this has to comply with this regulation. I wasn't even born when the fucking law was written. So my ancestors, let's kind of sort this out. Our ancestors set regulations prior to me being born that I am now obligated to. You know what that sounds like? Sins of the father laws. And if you don't know what sins of the father laws are, in the old days, if your father committed a crime and was sentenced to prison, but your father died, you would have to go to prison for your father. Wait, what the fuck? Or if your father owed a debt and he died, guess what? It's your debt. Wait, I didn't sign nothing. Yeah, but it was your dad. So? Yeah, but that's your dad. Okay, what the fuck's that got to do with me? Well, because that's your dad. Those are sins of the father's laws. So our ancestors years the fuck ago, wrote legislation. And now we're obligated to that legislation. I say, fuck you. I didn't agree to shit. Just because my mom and dad had sex and I came out doesn't mean I'm obligated to jack fuck of anything. This is kind of a funny example. All right. So like my dad loved pickled herring. And if you don't know what pickled herring is, yeah, Google that shit, go to the store, buy some and smell it. I hate fucking pickled herrings. Hate them with a passion. They smell like a really bad fucking date night. I'm just saying. My dad liked it. I don't like it. Am I obligated to eat fucking pickled herrings because my dad did? No. My dad worked at the post office. Am I obligated to work at the post office? No. So this whole laws of the father bullshit, out the window. Out the fucking window. And I'm not asking them not to apply them to me. I'm telling them, fuck off. That's it. And you have to do it, or you're just a slave to the system. And enjoy the fucking ride. And should I remind you that our globe is being ran by a bunch of warmongering pedophiles? Yet no fuck off. Why would we listen? Why would we even pay attention to an entity that won't go after pedophiles? Because they say it'll bring the system down. Well, if your system is held up with a bunch of pedophile termites, what are you trying to save? Are you trying to save the illusion of the structure? Because if it's held up with a bunch of pedophile termites, I'm thinking that should probably fall. Seems a little kind of common sensey. But yet, Washington, D.C., oh, hell no. Absolutely not. We got to save the institutions. We've spent hundreds of years building these fucking corrupt institutions. We have to keep them. And, oh, Mike Benz, I love you, Mike. I love you, Mike Benz. You're a good guy. But the idea that the right needs to have its own NGOs, its own think tanks, its own, he's literally saying the left has a corrupt system. We need a corrupt system. His argument would be, well, it's our system. It won't be corrupt. Any system ran by men will be corrupt. Where power corrupts, ultimate power ultimately corrupts. Here's a perfect example. The Ford Foundation. Originally, the Ford Foundation was actually a decent charity. Originally, what happened to it? It got corrupted. It got infiltrated because it was a power source. So it got infiltrated by power-hungry leftists who now uses the reputation and the brand of that entity to spread the corruption. What's the answer? Do you reform the Ford Foundation? Who's going to reform it? The people inside of it? No. That's where we're at, folks. All right, everyone have a great day. I love you guys, and I will see you guys on Monday morning. Bye-bye.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.